Good morning, YouTube. Pat for this land, Boughton here, giving you this 1 year review, roughly 1 year later, of the Greentisory Hori Hori gardening knife. You can see this has been a well-used, don't mind my spit, tool in my garden, and this has become indispensable to me in my gardening tasks. Now the question is, would you need a Greentisory Hori Hori over any other Hori Hori? God, I don't know. I think the Hori Hori just in general is an indispensable tool. I've had a different Hori Hori before. It filled my dreams and expectations and my needs. I just have a lot of rocky soil out here, and so I wanted something that had a full tang right here, giving me that extra oomph and strength in it, just in case I pushed it too hard. I wanted it to be able to take the heat a little bit better than the one I had, and this has actually taken a substantial amount of punishment, and I love it. Now down to the punishment part, that kind of gives you into the, it begs the question, the philosophy of use of a Hori Hori. Should you beat it hard? Should you put it through a lot of punishment? Probably not. I think this is definitely more of a finesse kind of a tool than a use and abuse kind of a tool. However, I'm not much of a finesse person in this, so I don't I do things in a use and abuse kind of way, and it shows on my tools, and I want to make that clear to you that this thing held up really well. The handle was comfortable. It was a little blocky and awkward, and actually one of the things I want to say is here I ended up grinding it down a little bit in certain spots, because once this tool came to me in the super hot and dry environment of central Washington, these handle scales made of wood kind of shrunk and receded and settled even more, exposing the edges of this tang. If you're in a more humid environment, that may not happen to you. It happened to me. It took a couple of days, and then I was getting poked, so I had to do a little bit of grinding. Not a big deal to me. I had the tools and the time and the means to do it, so I did. Not everyone may, so something to keep in mind if that's a thing you're worried about. And also, I did just a little bit with some sandpaper, kind of round off the edges a little. They were a little blocky, but that was just for my own personal comfort. Others may not care, and if you don't worry about it. Not a big deal. The other thing I did too is I slightly reprofiled the edge, and I kind of made it a sharper edge over here. Again, one of those things, I had the means and the times and the interest in doing so. If you don't, it's not going to be the end of the world. For your standard, like, chop a little branch off real quick task, this edge is going to be plenty sharp enough. And plus, not everyone wants to have their digging tool be like have a crazy razor's edge, and mind it, I don't keep a razor's edge because it's built to shove in the dirt, so why would I shove a razor's edge into the dirt unless I wanted to ruin it? Idiot. I don't want to ruin it, so I don't bother with it. I just give it a quick lick on the rougher edge of my sharpening stone, the rougher stone, and call it good, because that fulfills the needs I need for this tool. Got your markers along here, have been super useful for bulb planting, as well as just kind of general measurements around when I need to take measurements of something. I have a little 6-inch ruler ready to go, and I love that. The serrations, awesome, super useful. I learned from another viewer, thank you, the reason you put it on this side of the serrations on this side of the tool is so when you have a pot and you're trying to depot something or move it out if it's root bound, you're able to more effectively curve around the pot with the serrations to cut the roots that are clinging and bounding that thing in there. Really cool to find that out, and since I did find that out, this tool got even more useful to me. You can see down here I'm losing most of the serrations because that's the part that goes in the ground the most, and like I said, I have rocky soil around here. That's kind of just the general makeup of Yakima soil. A lot of volcanic area took place here, and there's a lot of rocks, unless it's been amended somehow. So, which I haven't brought it, trucked in dirt to my home, so there it is. But I'm a fan. I love this thing. The sheath has held up well. Nice leather, stitched together well with the rivets in the appropriate places, and it's It's done the task of containing this thing and holding it together. At some point I may make my own for this. It obviously hasn't been that big of a deal because I haven't made one yet, and I have made others for other knives. But just putting that out there. If you're a knife nerd or a crazy tool nerd, you may want to look into that, but it's not a big deal. This is a sturdy and thoroughly adequate sheath for this tool, and it's been on my belt for a year. Wholehearted, full-throated endorsement of this tool. I should even maybe check the internet and see if this company's still around. If it is, buy one of these. If it's not, still get a Hori Hori. It'll change your gardening life. Godspeed. If you like this, like it. If you enjoyed it even more, thumbs it up twice. Does YouTube let you do that? Probably not. Then subscribe. Share this with your friends. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. This is Pat for This Land Boughton, and thanks for checking it out. And remember, whatever you do for this land, you do for everybody.